Eric Adams is in their pocket. These guys are so powerful in so many places, especially bigger cities all over the country. I am kind of surprised that the public sector comes down with the way to take money out of their pockets, and this thing just sails through. And obviously, on our side, we should always be in favor of something that favors mom and pops, a regular person trying to sell their home or buy one, that they're not paying these exorbitant fees to these outside actors, right?
Now, Fani Willis, she faces the ultimatum, and the decision has come down. The judge made his way to let the whole world know Miss Shake Yo Fani Willis was chastised for making such a poor decision in kicking it with Nathan Wade. Now, on top of that, he found what I found. There is no conflict of interest in the situation, but he cannot allow both of them to be on the case. So a decision was rendered. The judge left it in Fani Willis's hands. He says, either you recluse yourself in your office and Nathan Wade can stay on the case, or Nathan Wade would have to be off the case. And this was their way of splitting it down the middle when it really wasn't. This is not a win for Trump. This is a loss for Trump, because now her office will remain on as Nathan Wade has put in his signature of resignation on the case. So he will not be prosecuting the case anymore. They will bring in another special prosecutor to proceed with the case, and her office remains in control of this case. This is bad news for Trump. Bad news for Trump, because now the case can proceed and there will be no delay. Trump and the lawyers that they got are outraged at the decision, but they think Fani Willis's whole office is corrupt and she needs to be removed. But they had no proof that their client was being treated unfairly. She just had a clear lapse of judgment when she went to go get some soul pole on the job while prosecuting a president of the United States of America, a former president of the United States of America. This is unprecedented. You do not blow this. If you're Fani Willis, you don't do anything like this. Her poor decisions have led to a man who was doing his job. It is now over. Now Mike Pence says, I'm not backing that guy. Never again. And this judge has made the right decision in the case. I think he did the right thing. You can't keep both of them on.
I think that they usually...
You can't keep both of them on the case. It doesn't make sense. Why keep both on the case? That's only going to raise alarms. He was a hired gun. So now you got to hire another prosecutor to come in and take over the case from where it is. So the trial don't miss a beat. and everybody gets to move on, and they can continue on and proceed as usual. No one there cared. I'm serious. No one cared. This is a win for Fani Willis's office. Because if you're Fani Willis, they don't have to reassign the case to another office. You get to keep everything that you do, and you keep it moving. You conduct business how you want to conduct the business, and you don't lose anything. Fani Willis has to make a decision. And it's very clear which way the decision is going to go. Who is going to prosecute the case now? It's not a loss for Willis. What did she lose? Her office retains the case. That's not what Trump wants. Trump wants this case resolved in a matter where they disqualify her office, and then they have to go through a process to get another office to prosecute the case. By her office remaining in control of the case, now nothing stops. It just continuously goes. Wade is just gone. So now you got to get another prosecutor in there, and that's it. But her office still remains in control. So how is this a loss for Fani Willis? They left it up to her to make the decision. Either her team go or Nathan Wade, which is going to be Nathan Wade 100% of the time. So he filed his letter to step away from the case. And that's that. Oh, they done messed up. Because now the big problem has reared its head. Your big play didn't work. Only thing you got was Nathan Wade removed. That's it. So if that was your big play, we gonna get Nathan Wade out of here? Okay. Nathan Wade is gone. What does that mean? Her office is still in charge. So the case is definitely in favor of Willis. She won. Now your play is over. Only thing you got left now is an appeal. So this whole case can proceed, which looks really shaky going into November when Trump, that's what I'm saying. Y'all don't understand, because they couldn't prove the ultimate case. The ultimate case is there an unfair judgment against their client? That's what the case is about. Can you prove in a court of law that there was a conflict of interest towards their client? There wasn't. There wasn't any conflict of interest towards their client. The only person that was getting yelled at was Fani Willis for her poor judgment of choosing to sleep with this guy in this case. That was it. So Trump and his buddies are doomed. So when he didn't take the plea deal and he's gonna fight it, okay. Now, instead of paying a $5,000 fine and accepting a guilty plea, he's gonna fight it. Now he's got to get billed more hours. And they just lost this case. Because, like I told you, that lawyer could not provide any evidence that her client had a conflict of interest. No matter who was sleeping with whom, you can't prove that your client didn't get a fair trial and wasn't getting a fair trial. What was unfair towards your client? She just did a whole bunch of talking and mumbo jumbo, and it didn't mean anything in the end. No matter how much Fox wanted to spend it, no matter how much anybody wanted to spend, what was going on? At the end of the day, you have to prove there is a conflict of interest. The brother told you, and I played it like 2-3 times for y'all. The brother provided the evidence and said, this is what went down. Oh, Fani Willis then won. The judge ruled that after he cussed Fani Willis out, what's up, KB? After he cussed Fani Willis out, he said, y'all got a choice to make. Yeah, he got on her for a poor decision for banging Nathan Wade, but said, okay, I still found no conflict of interest in this case. There's none. Because Nathan Wade was doing his job. She wasn't paying him for sex. He was paid to be a special prosecutor. There was a reason for him to be there. Because in this case, you're going to need somebody that could be there for 3 years. He has a private office. So he's not going to take a special prosecutor case. He's going to be special counsel. He's not going to be an assistant DA. Like, why wouldn't you hire an assistant DA? Because that's a limited pay structure, and they ain't going to stay because they got other cases they got to do. This is a major case, so you're going to need somebody who's a special counsel. So for them to hire him, nothing was illegally done. They couldn't prove that the person was being violated. But what the judge couldn't allow was for her, who's been sleeping with this dude, to still be on the case. So one of them had to go. So they said, well, Fani, you and your office can step down and Nathan Wade can still prosecute the case, or for another office because he's a special prosecutor, or Nathan Wade would have to leave the case. So, of course, their office ain't finna give up the case. It was 100% no-brainer. Nathan Wade, he resigned. He said, okay, here's my letter. I'm stepping away from the case. So Nathan Wade steps away from the case. Fani Willis in her office gets to still prosecute Trump and his cronies. Trump lost. And I told you, this was gonna happen. They were not going to take this case away because there was no evidence. The brother proved that when they were on the panel. When the only brother that was up there spoke, what did he tell you? He told you flat out, with no doubt, this is what it is. So the judge scolded her for using poor judgment for sleeping with this dude, making this a whole situation to begin with, but said, it's your choice. Either you and your office step away or Nathan Wade got to step away. One of y'all got to go. So they was like, yeah, but Trump got Wade out of there. What does that mean? That ain't what he want. Think Trump give a damn about Nathan Wade? He want that whole office disqualified. That's gonna mean they gotta get another office would have to prosecute the case. That decision would take months to get done. That wouldn't be done right away. Hell, November would come here and that still wouldn't even have happened. So Trump wanted that happening quick so that he can focus on the election. Now that that's done and that's dead in the water, you got another situation on your hands. You got a worser situation on your hands. Nothing stops. They got all this process that's been going on is continuing. They're just gonna get another prosecutor in there to prosecute the case. Nathan Wade stepped aside. They'll get another special prosecutor in there, and then it continues, and the circle keeps on going. Why? Because you had this woman who was leading this charge, couldn't provide any evidence. She had all speculation in her claims. I told you, the facts remains. Nobody was focusing on the fact. She's misusing funds. The funds are her to misuse. If she wanted to hire somebody she was banging, she can do that. Why is she paying them millions of dollars? Because that's what you pay for a hired gun. Somebody has to be there to prosecute this case for over 3 years. This is a case that's been going on since 2021. We're in 2024 and they ain't even stepped in the courtroom. And Nathan Wade already got 3 people to plea. Almost got 4 people already out of the people to already confess and take a plea deal. So the one that they said is very inexperienced to be working the case was proven he was doing a damn good job. The ethics board can be on her back all they want. They say that's not ethical for you to sleep with somebody you're working with. Okay. Tell that to everybody that done banged every intern they didn't have in the office. If that's the case, Bill Clinton, shoot, the ethics board could go get Bill Clinton any day of the week. He was doing that in Arkansas, everywhere he was at. But her stupidity is that when you're going after Trump, you can't be doing that. This ain't no, I'm going after the local alderman. You're going after Trump. Now, here are the facts. The facts of the case is she can pay that man that kind of money. And it's not wrong for her to pay him that kind of money. Now, here's the reason why it's not wrong for her to pay him that kind of money. It's not wrong because he is a special prosecutor. This is why this stupid lawyer, and she was the one who campaigned for Nathan Wade. She was going after him. She wanted that soul pole back in 2016. She got Wade's shirt on her front and back. She was like she was a superhero. She put her husband and kids in Wade's shirts. And then she acted like she didn't know who Nathan Wade was when she was in there prosecuting the case. She was the biggest Nathan Wade supporter. Now he's inexperienced. That ain't what you was looking like when you was jumping up and down in a Wade shirt. You got mad he wouldn't give you that soul pole, Mrs. Merchant. Start digging all up in his divorce case, everything. I told you, she was like a superhero. She had Wade on the front and back. She was flying over damn tanning salons. It is not unprecedented for you to pay this man millions of dollars because he is a special counsel, special prosecutor. That's why you don't hire just any assistant district attorney to prosecute the case. Like, why didn't you just use any one of these guys? Because they would have to leave the case. 9 times out of 10, the case goes too long, they have to leave. See, Nathan Wade has a private office. Why would you take an assistant DA role where you have a cap on what you can be paid? Plus, he has a private office. Why would he give up a private office in order to do that? No, I'm not going to limit what I can get paid on this case. No, I'm a special counsel. So nothing was done that wasn't unprecedented. And in Fulton County, this has been done before. So she was doing nothing against the case whatsoever. Plus, they didn't bring the case to Trump. There was a grand jury and a special grand jury that brought the case. Right? So the special prosecutor gets the case from those two. And then they give it to it went to the office of Fani Willis. So it's not like they targeted Trump. If you want to say anybody targeted him, you got to go to the special prosecutor. The special grand jury and the grand jury. They brought forth that case. So that's who you would have to go through. You see, again, facts. Something that people are ignoring and getting caught up in the salaciousness. In the case file she brought up, she tried to reference a case for a conflict of interest, but didn't even read what the damn case was. As the brother said, did you read this case? In the case, the judge found out that there was no conflict of interest. First, was this person contacted by the special prosecutor? No, he wasn't. That hasn't happened. He had not been treated unfairly. None of that has happened. So if this man wasn't treated unfairly, how can you say he's not getting a fair trial? They offered him a $5,000 fine to take a plea deal. And the guy said no. But the lawyer pushed that they're trying to extend the man's billing, which goes against what she was saying, because in her actions, everything that you just said he did by offering him a plea deal would stop his billing. So how are they trying to extend the billing when they offered to stop it by offering him a plea deal? He chose to. At the advice of the lawyer, Mrs. Merchant. Because of her, she wants it to keep going. No, he can win this. My client's innocent. So you keeping the billing going, not Nathan Wade. They offered a plea deal, which means that stops the billing. You see how I keep telling you about reality and fabrication? Nobody focuses on reality anymore. Everybody's stuck on fantasy. Trump got some real problems on his hand now, because now this case has got to go. He can go. They got somebody to run against Fani Willis, a Republican, who they finna try to get in there to vote Fani out. Good luck with that. But as of right now, she's going to prosecute this case. She's the district attorney still, and they can put the ethics board on her all they want. I'm going to tell you what's happening. Right now, Trump is faced with a loss right now. That was a major loss for them. That office gets to keep the case. Because now that they get to keep that case, all hell finna break loose. Yeah, Trump got screwed today, buddy. I don't know why anybody talking about Trump won something. I'm like, what the hell did he win? This is the worst decision that could have happened. They needed that office to get disqualified. Now that didn't happen because they found no evidence, as the judge says. There is no conflict of interest. There's none. Everything is legally done. You can say, well, she paid him for sex. Okay, you can say that, but that ain't what happened. Yeah, she might lose to that Republican if she run again, but black women gonna vote for her. That's all I know. It's gonna be a close race. No, Trump got problems on his hands. There ain't no question about it. Trump got a lot of problems on his hands. And the more he needs to focus more on yeah, they need to focus more on that. But yeah, they got some serious problems on their hands. On the real. I never saw it in the way that you probably see it right now. There's a lot of people that would look at it a little differently, but I get it, you know. Everybody's different. I don't really have a dog in the fight. I'm just telling you what's real and what's not. She was stupid for bringing this whole thing about, but I told y'all in the end what was going to happen. They're not losing the case. Fani Willis is not going to lose the case because they cannot prove there was a conflict of interest against the clients. Y'all speculating on what food they ate, who paid for the food, who slept in a hotel room, was this there, did she spend some money, who spent the money there, who cares? She lied in court about sleeping with him and when they were sleeping together, who cares? The end of the day is this man getting an unfair trial based on the status of what qualifies for a trial that is a conflict of interest. No, nothing that has happened in this case has provided to be a conflict of interest of law. So that's just it. Yeah, it looks bad, but That's because Fani Willis brought all this on herself with her stupidity. Nathan Wade humiliated himself too. He the one got to step down. So he filed a piece of paper saying, okay, I'm going to step down. It was simple as that. Already done. They probably already have the special prosecutor they got to take his place. They'll have that guy by Monday. And guess what? It all resumes. Nothing stops. You see how that works? Nothing stops. Oh, well, they're doomed. They can appeal the decision when the decision happens, but that's not even here nor there. This is to hinder the whole election. Keep telling y'all. Here's the decision and the reason why these decisions were made. Okay? Here's what Trump wanted. Trump wanted Fani Willis and her office to be disqualified from prosecuting the case. If that was the case, if her office was disqualified, it's not just Fani Willis is off the case. Her entire office can't prosecute it. Now they got to go to another county to get another office to prosecute the case. That takes months. About time that happens. That means from 2021 to now has all been wiped out. Now another office would have to take over. Now when the other office takes over, guess what happens then? When new office take over, you have a brand new problem. Guess what new problem gonna be now? Your new problem is gonna be you got to get another prosecutor. That whole thing is gonna take time. By this time, Trump would probably win the election. So now he's president of the United States while this case is still going on. Guess what happens next? Due to the duties of being the president of the United States of America, you are not going to be able to prosecute him. This case will be eviscerated. So that's why it was important for them to get that office disqualified. I don't blame them for trying, but I knew they was grasping at straws to get this case removed from Fani Willis. As again, I keep trying to reiterate to you guys, focus on the facts. Once you don't focus on the facts and you get lost in the sauce with all the distractions, then you look like the rest of these other people out here. And that ain't what you want. You do not want to be out there like that. It looked real bad for a lot of people. I will say that. Well, it was years. And when you have years of experience and you have years of people that are not on your side and they've been basically going against you for a long period of time, you know, this is normally a scenario you don't get out of. But we'll see how it plays out in the end. But the way everybody else is seeing the scope of it, you see a pattern. Oh, they got a blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl to run up against her, Fani Willis, in the new election. She's going to represent the Republicans. And they think she's going to take down Fani Willis. More power to them. But all I'm saying is, as of right now, Fani finna shake that Fani. Okay? Shake your Fani Willis. It's finna still prosecute that case. She's gonna be the head DA whether they like it or not. No matter how much old Fani was getting down, she was working that Fani. I mean, now he off the case. You can bang his brains out now. You can kick it back off. Y'all could be booed up now. Do you want to be booed up? Booed up. Booed up. Go on and get booed up. Well, I just like to keep things in perspective. You know, that's the main problem. I want to keep it all in perspective. Well, you gotta have you gotta have an audience that could bring forth the what you want to say, the energy level, the fortitude, the knowledge. You want to have all of that done at the highest form. You don't want to have, you know, what you got now. Okay, all right there. All right. Ooh, sexy traffic cop. I got you, babe. Okay, thank you. Donald Trump. Trump. Donald Trump is the president. We Donald Trump is the president. Oh, you elected Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the president. Woo! Trump. Still don't know how to fucking drive. It was not that hard to get in that car. Nice. No black TV.